Global viewers, please join me that view and even a trend conversation. We look at trending issues in Nigeria and globally. With me is Mr. Lee, a popular political affairs analyst and a strong supporter of the government led by Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Mr. Lee, you are welcome. Are you worried that the killing in Plateau State, about the killing in Plateau State, as a result, can we understand that about 115 persons have been killed by bandits who are suspected to be planning herdsmen? And as a political affairs analyst, as somebody who follows Nigerian politics, not only that, as a Nigerian who have experience of the North, what do you think? How do you think this problem can be resolved?
Good morning, Mr. Matthew. And thank you, viewers, for joining us. Please like, subscribe, and share. Well, we understand that the issue we have in the Plateau State has always been a long time infighting between the Aborigines and the Fulanis, which is specifically about land ownership. Well, we all know that the lands belongs to the government. And yes, the government can decide to take you away from a place and relocate you for your own best safety and security. But as it were in Plateau State today, we can see that the government, most especially the state government, have abandoned these Aborigines to the mercy of the Fulanis, whom we know walk around with all various forms of weapon of mass destruction. Sadly, on the 24th of December, which is the eve of Christmas, a sad story was once again shared in the media that over 160 something people were killed, and these guys did this dastard out without being apprehended. Not one of them was even caught. We don't even know where they are. We don't even know what color. But what we saw was the result of what they left behind: dead bodies. For me, as a Nigerian citizen, I believe the state governments are fully responsible, and the state government must collaborate with the federal government. This is not an issue whereby they will keep negotiating, because for as long as they keep negotiating, they are emboldening the Fulanis or whoever that have perpetrated this evil. Enough of the negotiations. Real actions must be taken. If these Fulanis have a base, that base must be bombed. But I doubt it. Well, I know the Fulanis are nomad in nature, so they don't tend to stay in a place permanently. They are always moving from one pillar to post. So this is why it's so hard for them to be aggregated. I have other solution. I believe that in Plateau State, there are I think about 20 to 25 communities were attacked, right? And I mean, from my own calculations, in some communities, you don't have more than 200 people, 300 persons. I think the state government needs to announce to those guys within that locality, okay, that they will provide a safe haven for them, right within their local government. I think that's my own first solution.
That they should be relocated.
They have, right within their locality, these guys need to be provided a safe haven. What I mean a safe haven, a massive structure, something like 1004, a building that can occupy at least 1,000 to 2,000 persons. Let the state government build these structures. In that structure, every social amenity they need must be there. And within that concentrate, our police army or army will be stationed to safeguard. Their movement will be monitored. And then we'll be waiting for the Fulani to come and attack. When the Fulani are approaching the safe haven, the security bodies would have been alerted, because of course security apparatus would have been placed like 300 or 400 meters far away from that safe haven. Now these solutions, I hope the state government will watch this brief and deploy it. It is achievable. We can no longer keep having people dispersed in that locality. If these guys are 200, 300 in a community and these guys are unarmed, their houses are not fenced, there are no security apparatus in place, the government has to ensure it brings them together in a place where the security forces can watch over them as a single entity. Because when they are dispersed, these marauders can perpetrate their evil easily. But they know if they are coming to a single place, all their forces that is protecting the people is concentrated, and they can fight them back, and they will no longer show up again.
Now, Mr. Lee, ranching is another strategy that some stakeholders have proposed as a way of solving the problem. Is this something you can speak to, whether ranching can solve this problem?
Let me tell you, the truth is these Fulanis are not attacking because of ranching. Because
what is under contention in this issue?
What is under contention? These guys are bloodthirsty. These guys are not materialistic. These guys, they don't have properties. These guys who are actually perpetrating this evil, they do not have properties. They are probably working with a senior commander who wants to probably exploit the natural resources. Or secondly, they just need that immediate resource, gather it, move on. Okay? Those, I have not heard that they attack these guys and then they clone that area, and what we have there are fully Fulanis.
But don't you think the essence of the attack is to create fear and possibly make the natural inhabitants of those areas who have that place as their ancestral home vacate from those areas so that they can easily come in and do their nomadic activities?
If what you said is what they do.
No, it's a question I asked.
No. If what you said, I'm giving you an answer. If what you said is what they do, then all what the government needs to do is just sit back, wait for them to take over, and then go bomb them. But that is not usually the case. These guys are nomadic in nature. They don't occupy that land. They do not occupy that land. I can tell you in Mangu and I can't recall the other place where this incident happened. If you go there now, you will not see them grazing. You will not see them. They are not there. They are not grazing. 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, you will not see them grazing over there. They are blocked.
So what is their motivational factor, if I should ask?
That is their motivation.
That pushes them into killing.
Let me tell you, first and foremost, these guys are bloodthirsty. These guys get these weapons of mass destruction easily from the Boko Harams, from the ISWAPs, and then maybe from political, juggernauts who have interest in natural resources.
Are you saying these people have something to do with Boko Haram? They have affiliation with Boko Haram?
They have connections, they have links with Boko Harams. Boko Harams get these weapons from international terrorist bodies like ISIS.
But this federal government will not be wrong if they treat them as terrorists.
There's no other name that you have to call them other than terrorists. These guys are not just headmen. If they are headsmen, if these guys are pastoral farmers, after they kill them, what we expect them to do is bring in their cows. But they don't bring in their cows. We don't see them grazing. In this mango, we will not see them grazing. No. They are bloodthirsty, they come, they kill, they kidnap, they use those people as slaves, they take them to wherever they are domiciled. While they are domiciled, they don't use more than 2-3 weeks to leave.
Then it goes to show that federal government through our Nigerian Air Force will be justified if they deploy all our air platform to bomb them. It means they will be justified.
It is not enough to be reactive. For me, I think...
Is it something you consider that there will be justification behind federal government through Nigerian Air Force?
Before the federal government can
them?
start bombing anything, the federal government has to come out and say that some areas will be quarantined, some areas has to be evacuated. The federal government has not for one day announced that people living along the northern borderline should evacuate. That we want to make it a military zone.
But if I may ask you, do you see government?
They are not ready. Listen, these guys are not ready to tackle the insecurity.
But the question I want to ask is, do you see government policies?
Don't forget, in Nigeria today, nobody can claim any ancestral land.
But
federal government owns the land. If your fatherland is in doubt, if federal government says that this place today want to change everybody, they do. Sorry, the state can decide to tell anybody to evacuate a place that they want to use it for anything.
They wrote the trust on behalf of the people. But the question I want to ask is, do you think federal government is playing politics, or are they sincere with their approach to addressing this perennial issue of attack that refuse to grow?
I think the federal government and the state governments are just incompetent to tackle these issues. Don't forget that the state government and the federal government have deployed the local means of solving this issue by calling them to a table of negotiations. So many times, the tribal leaders have been engaged, the kings, the emirs have been engaged, to deploy to negotiations like, okay guys, we are giving you this place, but these guys never agree. So this is an indictment on the state and the federal government on their inability to adopt technology. It is a shame that we have not seen one single aerial footage of the attack.
Now, Mr. Lee.
It is a shame that we don't have one single video footage of the attack that happened across 26 communities. It is a shame that the state governor cannot install cameras. It is a shame that the state governor is aware that an incident like this happened in less than 12 months in Mangu. And it couldn't at least have CCTV cameras along the border lines. It is a shame on our state governors and we the Nigerians until we begin to demand, just as we have been crying for good road infrastructures, until we begin to demand for good security apparatus and infrastructures. These guys will not take us serious. I think it is our common right that we start demanding that every street, every junction must have a security surveillance system.
Now, Mr. Lee, conclusively, what would be your advice to those locals who the only sin they committed is living in the ancestral home and being on the receiving end of this killing?
My advice for them is to relocate. Relocate. If you say you want to remain there, you are only setting up for yourself as a sacrificial lamb. It doesn't want it. Relocate to the city. Go to Jos. Go to the places that you know that there's still government presence there. The state government has failed to provide a safe haven for you, even in your village. Let me tell you, in America, even in their villages, the state government provides low-cost housing for them. The people in the villages are the ones that are supposed to be enjoying what we call low-cost housing. These are buildings that are built, managed, and well secured by the government. So that no security, no marauder can infiltrate. And if the state governments are not doing that, I urge you to relocate. That land that you call your ancestral land, my brother, relocate. It is not your ancestral land. Go to where you can live and survive until the state, and then you demand for your state governor to do the right thing by providing the security apparatus.
Now, before I let you go, I understand you have offered a solution that they should relocate from those troubled environments. But the question is, if they are relocating, their natural way of living, their business, farming, how do you think they will survive?
Let them come down to South. We need a lot of people that can farm. Let them go to South. We need a lot of people that can shout. Don't forget, this is Nigeria. Nigeria belongs to all of us.
Does that not go to show that the Fulani has won the battle, haven't taken over?
When they relocate and there's no longer one single soul of an innocent citizen, the government can decide to bomb their house. And because what you have left are Fulani. The Fulani, don't forget, are not the kind of person that stay put. These guys are nomadic. You have an issue with people who are nomadic because they don't have a settlement. These guys will always relocate after 1 month. So taming such people will be difficult. You as a Delta man, I as a Yoruba man, you know that you can come to my place and find me eating my amala and ewedu. But a Fulani man is not always like that. You might see him in this bus stop for 1 month, the next month you might hear he has moved to Ogun State. So we must see to that when you see that when your house is under siege, when your house is under fire, you have to leave the house. Wait for the firefighters to come and stop the fire before you return. So now is the time for these guys to leave the ancestral. live there. The Fulanis are the fire guys. When they leave, since they want to occupy that place, the federal government will not understand that what we have left in that location is Fulanis. Or the federal government should please release a memo that all the guys who are there temporarily relocate, come to Jos. The Fulanis will now think they are occupying that place. Then the federal government will move in fully, and they know that anybody they see will be killed on sight, and they wipe all of them out. And that, I think that will be a solution that can be that can be taken and applied. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your
You're welcome.
contribution. Thank you very much.